Tonight, everything you thought you knew is about to shatter. For months, fans believed they were watching an ordinary woman rise out of nowhere, raw, unpolished, and supposedly, just being herself. But now, whispers have turned into roars. Screenshots are circulating, old footage is resurfacing, and a single leaked connection has sent the internet into absolute chaos. Viewers are asking one explosive question: was it all an act? Because according to what just leaked behind the scenes, Erika Kirk may not be who she claimed to be at all. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the comment sections? On fire. What started as a harmless curiosity quickly spiraled into a full-blown digital witch hunt when an anonymous source dropped a bombshell claim late last night, alleging that Erika wasn't a random breakout personality, but a trained actress, carefully coached, strategically placed, and quietly connected to a world far bigger than anyone imagined. And then came the phrase that stopped everyone cold: Disney. A bizarre Disney connection, not a collaboration, not a sponsorship, but something far stranger. Suddenly, old interviews hit differently. That perfect timing? That emotional breakdown on camera? That uncanny ability to cry on cue while hitting every dramatic beat? Fans began rewatching clips with new eyes. It all makes sense now, one commenter wrote. Another fired back, no way, this feels staged. The internet split in half overnight. Behind closed doors, insiders claim panic set in. Phones started ringing, messages were deleted, and those closest to Erika allegedly began turning on each other, unsure who could be trusted. One former friend was overheard saying, "If this gets out, everything collapses." Another allegedly screamed, "You promised this would never surface." And here's the most chilling part: this leak didn't come from a stranger. It came from someone who knew the playbook. Someone who claims they were there during the training, during the rehearsals, during the moments that were supposed to look real. Now fans are demanding answers. Was the vulnerability manufactured? Were the tears rehearsed? And if there really is a hidden Disney pipeline behind it all, how deep does it go? Because if this story is even halfway true, then what you've been watching wasn't reality at all. It was a performance, and the curtain may finally be coming down. The night the leak went public, everything shifted at once. Phones vibrated non-stop, timelines refreshed by the second, and fans who once defended Erika Kirk with absolute loyalty suddenly found themselves questioning every memory they had attached to her face. The video clip that started it all was only 12 seconds long, grainy, half-cut, and clearly never meant to be seen. Erika stood in what looked like a rehearsal room, white walls, tape marks on the floor, her posture stiff, her voice controlled. Someone off camera said, "Again, but this time cry sooner." Erika nodded, closed her eyes, inhaled, and when she opened them, tears fell instantly. Not slowly, not naturally, instantly. That was the moment the rumor stopped being a rumor. Fans are shocked, not because she cried, but because she cried on command. Within minutes, reaction videos flooded the internet. "This explains everything," one creator shouted. Another whispered, "We were played." Emotions ran high as people began stitching old clips side by side with the leaked footage. Her viral breakdown from last year. Her trembling voice during the apology livestream. Her dramatic pauses, perfectly timed, almost cinematic. Suddenly it wasn't raw emotion anymore. It was performance. Whispers grew louder, repeating the same phrase over and over like a curse: trained actress. Erika, meanwhile, was nowhere to be found. Her accounts went silent, comments were disabled, and behind the scenes, according to multiple insiders, panic erupted. One former collaborator allegedly slammed a door so hard a framed photo shattered. Another was seen storming out of a private meeting, yelling, "They told us this would never come out." The family was left divided almost immediately. Erika's older sister, who had once appeared briefly in a vlog, reportedly confronted their mother late that night. "Did you know?" she demanded. "Did you know she was acting this whole time?" Their mother's response was allegedly quiet, almost defeated. It was supposed to help her. That sentence alone sent fans spiraling. Help her how? Help her career? Help her image? Or help her sell a lie that millions believed was real? As speculation exploded, a second leak surfaced. This one wasn't video. It was a document, an old scanned contract with names partially blurred but still readable enough to cause damage. The words, "Youth Performance Development," appeared at the top, followed by a logo fans instantly recognized. Disney, not the modern streaming giant everyone knows, but an internal training program rumored to exist years ago, quietly shaping on-camera talent long before they ever appeared in public. The idea alone was enough to set the internet on fire. A bizarre Disney connection? Fans refused to believe it at first. "This is fake," some said. "This is edited," others insisted. But then former cast members from unrelated projects began posting vague statements. Not surprised, one wrote. Another posted a single emoji of a puppet. Strings attached. No names mentioned, but the implication was clear. Friends who once praised Erika's authenticity now scrambled to distance themselves. One longtime friend deleted years of photos overnight. Another unfollowed her without comment. But one person didn't stay silent. A former roommate, someone fans had never heard of before, went live unexpectedly at 3 in the morning. Her voice shook as she spoke. "I can't keep pretending," she said. "I watched her rehearse crying in our living room. I watched her practice arguments she later had on camera. And when I asked why, she told me, this is how they taught me." The word they hung in the air like smoke. Viewers leaned closer to their screens. Comments flew faster than anyone could read. "Who is they? Say their names. Prove it." The roommate swallowed hard and added, "She said it started when she was young. That she was told reality only works if you control it." That single livestream fractured the fanbase completely. Some felt betrayed, others felt protective. She was manipulated, supporters argued. She was trained to survive. Critics fired back, "No, she manipulated us." Emotions ran high as clips from that live were reposted, edited, slowed down, analyzed frame by frame. Body language experts chimed in. That wasn't fear, one claimed. That was guilt, another disagreed. That was someone realizing the story has turned against her. Inside Erika's inner circle, accusations began flying. One manager allegedly blamed another. "You said the training records were sealed." A producer reportedly shouted, "This was supposed to stay buried." Betrayal seeped into every conversation. Trust collapsed. And Erika, still silent, was reportedly seen leaving a private residence through a back entrance, hoodie pulled low, face hidden, as if the world she built had finally started closing in. But the most dramatic twist hadn't even landed yet. Late the following evening, a voice memo leaked. Distorted but unmistakable. Erika's voice. "I don't know how to stop," she said quietly. "I don't know who I am without it." The pause that followed felt endless. Then she added, "If they find out everything, they'll hate me." Fans are shocked not just by the words, but by the fear behind them. For the first time, the performance seemed to crack. Family members reportedly begged her to speak out. "Tell your side," one message read. "Control the narrative," but others warned her to stay silent. "If you talk, you confirm it," another advised. The family was left divided, split between damage control and emotional survival. One cousin allegedly told a friend, "She's been playing a role so long, I don't think she knows how to stop." And just when it seemed like the story couldn't get darker, an anonymous email landed in multiple news inboxes at once. One line stood out, bold and chilling. "This was never her idea." Attached were timestamps, schedules, and what looked like lesson plans. Emotional calibration, audience manipulation, authenticity simulation. Fans stared at the screen in disbelief. Was Erika Kirk the mastermind, or was she the product? As night fell, comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Cancel her, some demanded. Protect her, others pleaded. Emotions ran high, not just because of what was revealed, but because of what remained hidden. How many moments were real? How many tears were rehearsed? And how many people helped build a version of Erika that never truly existed? Somewhere behind closed doors, sources say Erika finally broke down for real. No camera, no script, no audience, just sobs, shaking, and a single sentence whispered to someone she trusted. "I did what they told me to do." And as the internet waits for her to speak, one thing is certain. The story is far from over, and the truth, whatever it is, may be more unsettling than anyone is ready to face. The silence didn't last long. By morning, the leak had evolved into a full-scale digital eruption. Hashtags trended worldwide, reaction channels posted hourly updates, and fans dissected every second of Erika's past appearances like forensic evidence. Emotions ran high as people replayed her most emotional moments, pausing on micro-expressions, zooming in on eye movements, slowing down breaths. That pause wasn't natural, one commentator claimed. "That's a trained beat." Another fired back, "You're projecting. You want her to be fake." But doubt had already taken root, and once planted, it spread fast. Inside Erika's home, according to someone close to the situation, tension was suffocating. Her phone sat face down on the table, vibrating endlessly with missed calls she refused to answer. Her manager allegedly paced back and forth, running hands through his hair, repeating the same question like a prayer and a curse at once. Who leaked it? Every name that came up sparked another argument. Voices rose. Accusations flew. Betrayal hung thick in the air. One person finally snapped, yelling, "This whole thing was built on secrecy. Of course it was going to collapse." Erika reportedly sat curled on the couch, knees pulled to her chest, staring at nothing. When someone suggested she go live and explain, she shook her head. "I can't," she whispered. "I don't know what's real enough to say." That sentence alone revealed more than any statement ever could. For years, she had sold authenticity. Now she couldn't identify it within herself. Meanwhile, fans began digging deeper, and what they found only fueled the fire. An old childhood photo surfaced, Erika standing in a group of smiling kids wearing identical performance badges. Someone enhanced the image, zoomed in, and circled a familiar symbol on the badge. "This isn't random," the caption read. "This is training." Former classmates were suddenly hunted down for comments. One anonymous post claimed she was always performing, even in class. Another contradicted it. She was quiet, watched more than she spoke. Conflicting narratives collided, leaving viewers unsure what to believe. Then came the first public fracture from within Erika's circle. A longtime collaborator posted a now-deleted story that read, "You can't fake a life forever." No name. No context. But everyone knew exactly who it was about. Fans are shocked by how quickly loyalty evaporated. Screenshots spread faster than apologies. Another friend followed with a cryptic tweet, "Some of us told the truth. Others learned to sell it." Emotions ran high as fans debated whether these were acts of courage or calculated escapes. Erika's family drama spilled quietly into the chaos. A relative allegedly spoke to a small outlet under condition of anonymity. She was pressured, they said. This wasn't some evil plan. It was survival. When asked who pressured her, the answer was chillingly vague. People with power. People who promised protection. That word echoed everywhere. Protection from what? Obscurity? Failure? Herself? Late that evening, Erika finally broke her silence, but not publicly. She sent a voice note to a small private group chat that included only family and 2 trusted friends. The recording somehow leaked within hours. Her voice cracked as she spoke. "I never wanted to trick anyone," she said. "I wanted to be loved." The pause afterward was heavy, followed by quiet sobbing. "They told me if I was real, no one would watch. They said real doesn't sell." That sentence hit fans harder than any accusation. Comment sections shifted tone almost instantly. Anger turned into confusion. Confusion into uneasy empathy. "That's heartbreaking," one viewer wrote. Another responded, "Or that's exactly what a trained actress would say." The line between truth and performance blurred further, leaving everyone divided. Behind the scenes, legal threats allegedly surfaced. Cease and desist letters were rumored. Videos exposing the training mysteriously vanished. Accounts went private overnight. One creator claimed they were offered money to take content down. "They told me to stop digging," the creator said in a whisper during a live stream. "They said this goes deeper than Erika." Fans leaned in, hearts racing, sensing a much bigger machine at work. Erika's former roommate reappeared briefly, looking exhausted, eyes red. "I didn't do this for clout," she insisted. "I did it because I watched her disappear." She described nights where Erika practiced reactions in the mirror, smiling, crying, rehearsing lines that never appeared on any script. She told me once she didn't remember the last time she reacted without thinking how it would look. The family was left divided again, not just about Erika's choices, but about whether exposing them was an act of betrayal or salvation. As pressure mounted, Erika's management team reportedly debated a drastic move. One source claimed they suggested a full rebrand. "Own it," they said. "Turn it into a redemption arc." Erika's response was allegedly explosive. "You don't get to turn my breakdown into content," she screamed. Tears followed, raw and uncontrolled, the kind no training could manufacture. For the first time, witnesses say, there was no performance. Just collapse. Fans sensed it too. Something had shifted. The narrative was no longer just about deception. It was about control, identity, and what happens when a person becomes the product. Supporters began posting messages of concern. "Check on her. This is bigger than drama." Critics remained unmoved. "Plenty of people suffer without lying to millions," one comment read. Then, just before midnight, a final twist landed. A former instructor from a long-defunct performance program posted a single sentence online: "We were taught to break them before the world ever could." No names, no explanations, but the implication sent chills through the internet. If Erika was trained, she wasn't trained to shine. She was trained to endure. And as the screen faded on that haunting sentence, one question lingered heavier than ever. If Erika Kirk was built by a system designed to manufacture emotion, then when the cameras are gone and the audience turns away, who is left standing in the silence? The following day felt heavier, slower, as if the internet itself was holding its breath. Erika still hadn't gone live, but her absence only amplified the noise. Fan theories multiplied, each more extreme than the last. Some claimed she was preparing a confession. Others insisted she was being silenced. Emotions ran high as a leaked screenshot began circulating, allegedly from an internal group chat tied to her old training circle. The message was short but devastating: she wasn't supposed to break character. Those 7 words ignited a new wave of outrage. Fans are shocked not just by what was said, but by how casually it was written, as if Erika's entire life had been reduced to a role she failed to maintain. Inside Erika's circle, the fractures deepened. One former handler reportedly accused another of pushing Erika too far. "You trained her to survive chaos, not to live," they yelled during a heated call that someone later described as pure venom. Another voice cut in coldly, "She agreed to this." That sentence reportedly sent Erika into hysterics when she overheard it. "I was a child," she cried. "What choice did I have?" The room fell silent. No one answered. Fans began noticing subtle changes in Erika's past content that suddenly felt disturbing. Moments once praised as brave now looked calculated. A clip resurfaced where she stared into the camera for an uncomfortably long time before speaking. At the time, fans called it powerful. Now, commenters pointed out how her breathing synced perfectly before the first word. "That's training," one wrote. "They teach that pause." Others pushed back, arguing that analysis had turned into obsession. But the damage was already done. Trust had cracked, and cracks invite scrutiny. Then came the call that changed everything. According to a source close to the family, Erika received a call from someone she hadn't spoken to in years. A former instructor. The conversation allegedly lasted only 3 minutes, but when it ended, Erika collapsed to the floor. "They told me to stay quiet," she sobbed later. "They said this will pass if I don't make it worse." That advice divided the room instantly. One family member begged her to ignore it. "Silence makes you look guilty," they argued. Another warned, "If you speak, they'll turn on you." The family was left divided not just emotionally, but morally. Protect Erika at all costs, or let the truth burn everything down. Online, a new character entered the story. A former child performer, now an adult, posted a long message that went viral within hours. "People don't understand what training does to you," they wrote. "They teach you to replace instinct with instruction. Eventually, you don't know which one is yours." Fans immediately connected the dots. Comments flooded in. "This is Erika. This explains her. She never stood a chance." Others remained skeptical. "Lots of people get trained," one comment read. "They don't all lie." Late that night, Erika finally recorded a video. Not posted, just recorded. According to someone who saw it, she restarted it over 20 times. Every attempt ended the same way. She would begin confidently, shoulders squared, voice steady, then suddenly stop, eyes filling with panic. "This sounds fake," she kept saying. "I sound fake." The cruel irony was impossible to miss. After years of being accused of acting, she now couldn't speak without fearing it looked rehearsed. As tensions escalated, a private dinner between Erika and 2 former allies reportedly ended in disaster. One of them accused her outright. "You used us," they said. "You let us defend you while knowing the truth." Erika shot back through tears, "I didn't know where the truth ended." The argument grew heated, voices overlapping, years of resentment spilling out. One slammed their hand on the table. "You don't get to play victim now." Erika stood up so abruptly her chair fell backward. "I was the product," she screamed. "You were the audience." That line leaked the next morning. Fans are shocked by how raw it sounded, how unpolished. Some believed it was the most honest thing she had ever said. Others dismissed it as another calculated soundbite. Emotions ran high once again, the internet split cleanly down the middle. Then, unexpectedly, Erika's younger brother spoke out. In a brief statement, he said, "I grew up watching my sister disappear into versions of herself that made adults smile. I don't know which one people are angry at." His words shifted the tone yet again. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about deception. It was about loss. A family watching someone become something unrecognizable. Pressure mounted from all sides. Sponsors reportedly paused contracts. Collaborators distanced themselves publicly. One brand issued a statement saying they were re-evaluating alignment with authenticity. Fans mocked it mercilessly. "Authenticity?" one wrote. "You paid for the performance." Behind the scenes, Erika allegedly laughed bitterly when she saw that statement. "They loved me when it sold," she said. "Now they want purity." The darkest moment came quietly. No leak, no screenshot, just a rumor that Erika had checked herself into a private retreat, not for rest, but for evaluation. "She doesn't know who she is without the script," a source claimed. Fans reacted with alarm. Concerned posts flooded timelines. "This has gone too far. This is a human being." Yet others doubled down. Actions have consequences. And somewhere in that noise, Erika reportedly asked a single question that no one could answer. "If I tell the whole truth," she said softly, "will anyone believe me?" Silence followed. Because by then, belief itself had become the rarest thing of all. The retreat rumors only intensified the storm. By the time the sun rose, fans were split into camps that no longer spoke the same language. One side framed Erika as a victim of a system that engineered emotion and sold it back to the public. The other side saw manipulation, choice, and profit. Emotions ran high as both sides weaponized compassion and accountability against each other. Every post felt like a verdict. Every silence felt like guilt. Inside the retreat, according to someone familiar with the situation, Erika was asked to do something deceptively simple. Describe yourself without roles, without outcomes, without an audience. She stared at the wall for a long time before whispering, "I don't know how." That answer haunted everyone who heard it. Because it wasn't dramatic, it wasn't polished, it was empty, and emptiness is harder to fake than tears. Outside, a new wave of leaks emerged, quieter but more dangerous. Not videos or audio this time, but testimonies. Former assistants, former coaches, people who claimed they watched Erika being shaped piece by piece. One message circulated anonymously: they rewarded her for control, not honesty. Another followed: when she cried naturally, they stopped her. When she cried on cue, they applauded. Fans are shocked by how consistent the stories sounded, even without names attached. Erika's management team allegedly scrambled to regain control. One emergency call ended with a shouted ultimatum: "We either own the narrative or it owns her." Someone else fired back: "This isn't a narrative. This is a breakdown." The disagreement grew heated, splitting the room. One side pushed for a public statement immediately. The other insisted on waiting. "Every word will be dissected," they warned. "And she's not stable enough to perform honesty." The irony of that sentence reportedly made Erika laugh until she cried. A draft statement leaked hours later. It was clean, careful, apologetic without admitting anything specific. Fans tore it apart within minutes. "This is PR speak. This is fake. She's still acting." Emotions ran high as the draft was pulled, revised, then pulled again. Each attempt made things worse. Erika reportedly begged them to stop. "Please," she said, "don't write my feelings for me." Then came another twist. A former producer, someone with nothing left to lose, posted a long thread explaining how moments were selected, edited, amplified. "We never told her what to feel," they claimed. "We told her what would work." The distinction enraged people. "That's manipulation," fans argued. The producer doubled down. "That's entertainment." The line between the two blurred beyond recognition. At the same time, Erika's father allegedly reached out to someone from her past, a teacher who knew her before the training. The teacher's response was brief and painful. "She used to hesitate," they said. "Now she performs certainty." That observation circulated quietly but struck deep. Hesitation, once a human trait, had been trained out of her. As pressure built, Erika finally watched the reactions herself. Every clip, every accusation, every defense. Sources say she sat through hours without speaking. When someone asked why she was doing that to herself, she replied, "I need to know what they see when they look at me." After a long pause, she added, "Because I don't recognize it." That sentence spread through private chats like wildfire. Fans noticed something else too. Older videos disappeared, not taken down by Erika, but by platforms citing vague violations. Conspiracy theories erupted instantly. "They're erasing evidence. This goes higher. She's being protected." Emotions ran high as creators accused invisible forces of cleaning the internet. Others dismissed it as coincidence. But the timing felt too perfect to ignore. The family was left divided once again when Erika's aunt spoke out publicly. "She learned early that love followed performance," she said. "That doesn't excuse everything, but it explains more than people want to admit." Backlash was immediate. Critics accused the family of deflecting responsibility. Supporters thanked her for humanizing Erika. The comment sections turned brutal. Inside the retreat, Erika reportedly had a breakthrough and a breakdown in the same breath. During a session, she admitted something she had never said aloud. "Sometimes I don't know if I'm lying or just repeating what I was taught." The room fell silent. One counselor asked gently, "What do you feel right now?" Erika hesitated. Then whispered, "Fear. Not fear of being exposed. Fear of being empty." That night, she wrote a letter. Not to fans, not to critics, to herself. It wasn't meant to leave the room. But someone saw it, and a line from that letter leaked. "If I stop performing, will anyone stay?" Fans are shocked by how vulnerable it sounded, how unmarketable. For the first time, there was nothing to gain from the words. Meanwhile, former friends continued to turn. One accused Erika of knowing exactly what she was doing. "Don't infantilize her," they said in a heated interview. She made choices. Erika reportedly watched that clip and nodded. "They're right," she said quietly. "I did." The admission complicated everything. Victimhood and accountability collided, leaving no clean resolution. As days passed, the story stopped being about proof and started being about endurance. How long could Erika stay silent before the narrative hardened permanently? How long would fans wait before moving on to the next scandal? Sponsors remained frozen. Silence stretched. Tension thickened. Then, late one evening, Erika finally made a decision. She asked for a camera. Not a crew, not lighting, just a camera. She sat down, no makeup, hair undone, wearing the same hoodie she'd worn for days. She stared into the lens for a long time without speaking. Those who witnessed it say the silence felt heavier than any confession. She opened her mouth, then closed it, took a breath, and said, "I'm scared you won't believe me." The recording ended there. And for the first time since the story broke, the internet went quiet, not out of indifference, but anticipation, waiting to see if the next words would finally be hers, or just another role learned too well. The clip of that unfinished recording never officially surfaced, but word of it spread fast enough to feel real. Anticipation tightened like a wire pulled too far. Fans refreshed feeds obsessively, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Some prayed for honesty, others braced for manipulation. Emotions ran high because everyone understood one thing now. Whatever Erika said next would define her forever. Inside the retreat, the atmosphere reportedly shifted from crisis management to something quieter and more dangerous. Acceptance. Erika stopped asking what she should say and started asking what she could live with saying. When someone warned her that the internet would tear her apart no matter what, she replied, "They already have." The calm in her voice unsettled everyone more than panic ever could. Her team argued late into the night. One insisted, "You owe them clarity." Another snapped back, "She doesn't owe them her nervous system." Voices rose. Blame resurfaced. Old resentments exploded. One person finally said what no one else wanted to admit. "We built this, and now we're asking her to burn in it alone." Silence followed. The truth landed harder than any accusation. Outside, the narrative continued mutating. Reaction channels shifted tone again, now analyzing the ethics of spectatorship itself. "Why do we need her pain to be authentic?" one creator asked. "Why isn't her breakdown enough?" Fans are shocked by how the conversation turned inward. Suddenly, viewers weren't just judging Erika, they were judging themselves. Then came a surprise appearance. Not from Erika, but from someone tied loosely to the rumored training system. An older woman, face half-shadowed, voice altered, appeared in a short interview clip. "We didn't teach them to lie," she said. "We taught them to survive attention." When asked if that meant erasing their real selves, she paused. "Sometimes survival costs you things," that was all she said. But it was enough to reignite the fire. Erika watched that clip alone. Sources say she didn't cry. She didn't react at all. After it ended, she simply said, "That's the first honest thing I've heard." Not because it absolved her, but because it named the cost she'd been paying silently for years. Another twist followed quickly. A former fan account, once fiercely defensive of Erika, posted a long goodbye message. "I don't know who she is," they wrote. "And I don't know who I was defending." The post went viral, not because it was cruel, but because it was tired. Exhaustion replaced outrage. Emotions ran high in a different way now, heavier, slower, like grief. Erika's brother visited her at the retreat. Their conversation stayed private, but one detail leaked. Before leaving, he hugged her and said, "You don't have to be interesting to be my sister." Witnesses say Erika broke down completely. Not the kind of breakdown audiences recognize. No dramatic beats, no controlled sobs, just messy, quiet release. The kind that can't be edited into content. Meanwhile, the industry response grew colder. Emails stopped coming. Meetings were postponed indefinitely. One executive allegedly said, "She's too complicated right now." Erika laughed when she heard that. "I always was," she said. "They just liked me better when I hid it." The family was left divided again over whether to push back or let the silence stand. Some wanted to fight, others wanted peace. Erika wanted neither. She wanted truth without performance, a concept that still felt foreign in her mouth. The internet, sensing resolution near, sharpened its teeth. Countdown posts appeared. Statement coming? Speculation threads exploded. Fans argued over what apology would be enough, what confession would satisfy them. Some demanded names, others demanded remorse. A few demanded nothing at all, just that she disappear. Erika finally finished the recording. One take, no restarts. When she stood up afterward, she reportedly felt dizzy, not from fear, but from relief. "I didn't act," she said quietly. "I don't know if that matters." The file sat untouched for hours. no one pressed upload. The weight of the decision settled in. During that waiting period, another betrayal surfaced. Someone from her past leaked a private message Erika had sent years earlier. In it, she wrote, "I don't know how to turn it off." Critics seized on it as proof of deception. Supporters saw it as evidence of distress. Emotions ran high yet again, the same sentence fueling opposite conclusions. Erika saw the leak and shook her head. "Even my fear gets used against me," she said. That was the moment she decided. Not to defend herself, not to explain everything, but to speak anyway. The video went live without warning. No premiere, no countdown, just a thumbnail of Erika sitting still, eyes red, expression unreadable. Viewers clicked in by the millions. For the first 30 seconds, she said nothing. The silence felt intentional, confrontational. Then she spoke. "I was trained," she said. "No qualifiers, no justifications. I was taught how to control my face, my voice, my timing." She paused, swallowing hard. "I also made choices." That line landed like a punch. Critics leaned forward. Supporters held their breath. "Both things are true," she continued. "And I've been hiding behind one to avoid the other." She didn't cry when she said it. That absence spoke louder than tears ever could. "I don't know where the performance ends," she admitted. "But I know I don't want to live inside it anymore." The internet erupted instantly. Fans are shocked by the restraint, by the lack of theatrics. Some called it the most real thing she'd ever done. Others dismissed it as the ultimate performance. Comments flooded in faster than moderators could keep up. Then Erika said something no one expected. "You don't owe me forgiveness," a beat. "And I don't owe you access to my healing." The statement split the audience cleanly. Applause from some, fury from others. Emotions ran high as the power dynamic shifted. She wasn't begging. She wasn't selling redemption. She was drawing a line. The video ended without a call to action, without tears, without promises. Just Erika looking into the camera and saying, "I'm stepping away." The screen went black. In the hours that followed, the fallout was immediate and chaotic. Some declared the confession insufficient. Others praised it as brave. Sponsors officially withdrew. Fan pages shut down. Hate accounts doubled down. Support messages poured in. The family was left divided once more, unsure whether stepping away would protect Erika or erase her entirely. And Erika? According to the last person who saw her that night, she went outside alone, sat on the steps, and watched the sky darken. No phone, no audience. When asked how she felt, she answered honestly for once, without checking how it would land. "Quiet," she said, "not peace, not relief, just quiet." And for someone who had lived her entire life on cue, that silence was the most unfamiliar role of all. The quiet didn't last the way Erika hoped it would. Silence, once introduced, has a way of drawing attention to itself. Within days of her stepping away, the absence became the story. Fans searched for clues in what wasn't posted. Critics called it a tactic. Supporters called it healing. Emotions ran high as the internet filled the void she left behind with speculation, projection, and unfinished arguments. Inside her family, the fallout continued in smaller, more painful ways. Dinners were tense. Conversations circled the same questions without answers. One relative asked gently, "Do you regret it?" Erika didn't answer right away. When she finally spoke, her voice was flat. "I regret not knowing who I was before everyone else decided." That response ended the conversation. There was nothing left to debate. Outside, the industry moved on with ruthless efficiency. Meetings were cancelled permanently. Opportunities quietly reassigned. A new face appeared online, promoted with the same language once used for Erika. "Authentic," fans noticed immediately. "Not again," one comment read. The cycle felt too familiar now to ignore. People began asking harder questions, not just about Erika, but about the system that replaced her without hesitation. A week after the video, another leak surfaced, but this one landed differently. It was an old training evaluation, written in cold, clinical language. Subject displays high adaptability. Emotional responsiveness exceeds baseline. Risk factor. Identity diffusion. That last phrase circulated widely. Fans are shocked by how accurately it described what they had been watching unravel in real time. Identity diffusion. The loss of a stable sense of self. Suddenly, the drama had a name. Erika didn't comment on the leak. She didn't need to. For the first time, not responding felt like a choice rather than avoidance. When asked by someone close if she wanted to issue clarification, she shook her head. "They're finally seeing it," she said. "I don't need to perform understanding for them." Some former critics softened, others hardened. One popular commentator doubled down, accusing Erika of calculated vulnerability. "She waited until it benefited her," they said. Supporters pushed back fiercely. "Benefited her how?" one replied. She lost everything. Emotions ran high as the debate shifted from facts to values. What did people want from her now? Punishment? Repentance? Disappearance? Erika spent her days doing ordinary things that once felt impossible. Grocery shopping without makeup, walking without checking reflections, sitting in silence without rehearsing reactions. Each small act felt like rebellion against the version of herself the world knew. She admitted to someone that it was terrifying. "There's no script," she said. "I keep waiting for a cue that never comes." Then, unexpectedly, a letter arrived. Handwritten, no return address. Inside was a single sentence: "I saw myself in you, and now I'm afraid." Erika stared at it for a long time. She didn't know who sent it, but she understood it. The impact hit harder than any accusation. For the first time, she realized the story wasn't just about her. It was about everyone watching, learning, internalizing the same lessons. The internet shifted again. Think pieces appeared. What Erika Kirk taught us about manufactured authenticity. The cost of consuming vulnerability. Fans are shocked by how quickly outrage turned into analysis. The spectacle had matured into reflection. Not everyone participated, but enough did to change the tone. The story slowed. The edges dulled. Erika's family noticed the change before anyone else. She laughed more, quietly, at things that weren't impressive. She cried less, but when she did, it surprised her. "I didn't plan that," she said once, almost smiling. Those moments felt real in a way no camera could capture. Still, unresolved questions lingered. Who leaked the first video? How deep did the training system go? How many others were shaped the same way? Some demanded investigations. Others warned against witch hunts. The family was left divided on whether Erika should ever speak again. One side believed silence was healing. The other feared it allowed the system to continue untouched. Erika listened, then made her own decision. She agreed to one conversation. Not an interview, not a documentary. A closed-room discussion with people who had lived similar experiences. No cameras, no recordings, just voices. When she returned, she looked lighter, not because the pain was gone, but because it was finally shared without performance. "I'm not special," she